World's largest superplane needs 180 engines, weighs 6,000 tons, carries 24 planes. 10 Lung class. Ground effect vehicles are the largest sea giants, with airplane bodies and engines, but the IMO calls them ships. Lung class arose from Soviet ground effect research. Ground effect is when an aircraft flies low over ground or water. Airflow reflection increases lift and reduces drag. This principle lets aircraft skim fast with small wings, staying low. Soviets chose calm, vast Caspian Sea as testbed. In the early 1960s, Rostislav Alexeyev built the first ground effect vehicle, KM, nicknamed the Caspian Monster. 30.5 meters long, weighs 550 tons, flies without wings. 1967. U.S. satellites spotted it. West baffled. Though KM crashed in tests, Soviets persisted. From past lessons, they proposed Project 903, built in 1987, serviced in 1989, 73.8 meters long, with a 550 kilometers per hour speed. MD-160 Akronoplane, an attack craft, carries 6 P-270 muskets. Fast, sea skimming, sinks big ships, flying just 1.5 to 3 meters above water. Radar misses it. Ideal stealth platform, yet its glory stayed in battlefield theory. It can fly, but not like a plane. In rough weather, it can't move and must be towed back. Its particular flying height constraints necessitate calm water surfaces for safe handling. Worse, USSR collapse/budgets. Halting Spacetel in 1991. It lies on Volga docks. In the 1990s, lone MD-160 retired. Towed Caspian base. In 2020, Russia began the Patriot Park project to move MD-160 to Durban. During transport, it ran aground, battered, tail flooded. That December, it escaped. Then was placed ashore as close-up relic. 9th place, Myasishchev VMT Atlant. January 6, 1982. Giant rolled on the secret Chukovsky runway, Moscow area, later named Myasishchev VMT Atlant. This giant carried a huge round cargo bay on top, holding secret Soviet space equipment. VMT Atlant, a huge carrier plane, was built to solve a Soviet space problem. 1976. USSR began Buran orbiter and Energia rocket, mirroring US shuttle. Unlike coastal America, the USSR's interior made rail transport of rocket parts simply impossible at that time. Antonov's An-225 was only a concept, not as urgent as the Buran project. With demand high, Vladimir Myasishchev chose an unconventional solution. Modified his 1950s designed 3M bomber to carry rocket parts. Fuselage grew 4.5 meters. Twin fins improved stability. VD-7MD afterburners boosted takeoff thrust, having length and wingspan above 50 meters. It couldn't haul Buran or Energia cores, but ship components in batches to Baikonur. Striking flight, it hauled Energia's LH-2 tank despite its 3.4 meters wide fuselage. Exaggerated scale earned VMT Flying Camel. Pilots fought drag, monitored tank pressure. Depressurization meant collapse, breakup on descent. Despite flight issues, VMT still flew 150-plus space cargo runs, hauling parts from Kulybashev's plant and Ramenskoye near Zhukovsky to Baikonur launch site. Buren built at Ticino, large, and 225 entered service. VMT retired. Buren Energia died after USSR collapse. Myasishchev pitched VMT for ESA's Hermes space shuttle, failed. 8. B-36 Peacemaker. B-36 Peacemaker. Biggest mass-produced piston aircraft. USAF's biggest warplane. Longest fighter wingspan. Can fly intercontinental without refueling. B-36 began in World War II. Fearing Britain's fall, America needed a bomber striking Europe. From North America, 1941, USAF set needs. 1943, contract awarded to Convair after years of development. This deadly giant first flew on August 8, 1946. B-36 used 6 R-4360 pusher pistons behind wings, plus 4 extra J-47 jets. This gave it over 16,000 kilometers range. First intercontinental bomber, flying US to Soviet heart and back. Sans bases / refuel. B-36 saw no WWII combats, yet was vital early Cold War. First nuclear-armed bomber, it carried 39 tons, including the huge Mark 17 H-bomb. Powerful strikes and range made B-36 SAC's top nuclear deterrent. Oddly, B-36's size and power still lost to faster B-52 jets. Why? It turns out, the B-36 had a fatal flaw. Its top speed was just 700 kilometers per hour, making it obsolete in the jet era. It can't refuel midair, so it's less agile in complex air combat, despite its long range. Hybrid piston jet system is costly, complex, thus severely limiting readiness. By the mid-1950s, the USSR's MiG-15 and MiG-17 jets threatened the slow B-36. B-36 retired in 1955, last left in 1959, after 10 years, though short-lived. The B-36 influenced later bombers like the B-52, B-1, and B-2. Only 4 B-36s remain, all in museums. They quietly reveal the U.S. Air Force's early Cold War tech ambitions and nuclear strategy. 7th is the Bereev B-200. On the Russia-Ukraine front, Bereev's A-50 early warning planes have been repeatedly shot down, with at least 2 confirmed hits drawing global attention. Another Bereev B-200 entered the public view. Built by the Bereev Design Bureau, this is Russia's only jet amphibious plane and the world's largest seaplane. B-200 began after USSR collapse, derived from 1980's A-40, NATO Mermaid. A-40 ended after Soviet breakup. One prototype, B-200 Air, built by Irkut Corporation, first flew in 1998. Designed to perform multiple tasks in remote coastal areas. B-200, 32 meters long, can carry max 72 passengers. It uses a high-mounted swept wing with engines above the wings to avoid water spray intake. Key feature: skims low, scoops 12 tons in 14 seconds, used for firefighting. Besides firefighting, the B-200 is also for rescue and passenger use. Cabin switches cargo to passenger in an hour. Range 870 miles, flexible. The B-200 joined firefighting in the 2000s in Italy, Portugal, and Indonesia, performing well. But B-200 production stalled using Ukraine's Progress D-436 engine. After Crimea 2014, Ukraine barred engine exports. Russia chose power jets, Sa-M-146, also powering Sukhoi Superjet. After 2022 invasion, sanctions tightened. Sa-M-146 cut. B-200 stall. About 20 B-200s built. Algeria and Azerbaijan bought. India, US orders never materialized, with aviation moving toward greener, modular tech. Large amphibious jets like the B-200 are very rare. A versatile platform reflecting Soviet legacy and Russia's industry. 6. Airbus A380. A380. World's largest full-length double-decker jet. 2005. A380 took off to cheers, heralding history. 16 years later, it faded quietly. What happened? Since 1988, Airbus studied Super Jumbo, challenging 747 dominance. Announced in 1990, the project launched in December 2000, spending $25 billion to build this 72-meter-long, 24-meter-high plane. Range: 15,000 kilometers, 853 max passenger capacity, 4 engines, GP 7200 or Trent 900, strong thrust, smooth flight. A380 offers unmatched space, double decks boost capacity, and airline design freedom. Some flights offer luxury facilities, like a hotel in the sky. Since seats can't be stacked endlessly, these luxury features became a way to use space. Best-in-class cabin. Cleaner, humidified air, lower pressure, roomy seats cut fatigue. Cruise-like, not bus-like. But this giant plane never conquered the market. From the start, it was criticized for high costs, complexity, and delays. Complex circuitry delayed 2 years. Costs doubled. Even at peak output of 30 per year, only about 250 were made, far below Airbus's goal. Emirates is the biggest client, but Asia and the Middle East fell short of Airbus's hopes. Passengers loved comfort, quiet. Airlines balked at fuel, upkeep, low loads. Big jets costlier, less profitable than mid-size. These planes offer similar range with greater efficiency. Environmental pressure worsened the A380's plight. Bigger jets emit more carbon, drawing backlash. Environmentalists bought polluter image. Airlines buy greener, efficient planes. Airbus tried to improve the A380 with cargo and efficient models, but high costs or low orders stopped them. Since 2005, carriers like UAE, Virgin, have canceled 57 orders. 2021, A380 delivered. Dream ends. Number 5. Hindenburg airship. Most inventions fade gradually, replaced over time. Few vanish overnight like the airship, leaving history. A major air disaster ended the airship era, with the Hindenburg at its center. Airships appeared in the late 19th century, using light gases like hydrogen or helium for lift, needing little power. Eco-friendly, low noise, and cost-effective. But flaws matter. Mainly slow. Even trains and cars outran it. Big, low flying, fragile in storms. Also, gas safety concerns. Helium was safer than hydrogen, but US controlled supplies and banned exports. Because scarce, Germany used hydrogen, sealing airships' fate. Built 1935, Hindenburg was Zeppelin's peak and biggest craft. 245 meters long, 41.2 meters wide, hydrogen-filled, plus passengers. 15 holds carry 8.7 tons. Maiden voyage March 4, 1936. Then regular Atlantic service. Luxury for elites. The airship was a flying luxury cruise with dining, lounges, and smoking rooms. Everything ended on May 6, 1937. The evening the Hindenburg flew from Frankfurt to Lakehurst, New Jersey, landing at 300 meters. It ignited, became a fireball, crashed. Crash killed 13 passengers, 36 crew, 1 ground worker. Cause debated today. NTSB findings prevailed. In a storm, airship turned sharply. Cable snapped. Hydrogen leaked. Static sparked fire instantly. Not history's worst airship crash, yet filmed and reported worldwide. Truss collapsed almost overnight. Glorious airship era ended. Now fourth, Boeing 747-8. Ask any passersby which Boeing plane they know, and they'll probably answer the Boeing 747 first. Boeing 747 is legendary, called the Sky Queen. Since 1969 debut, this aircraft became an aviation icon. This is the final 747, available as cargo or passenger. First flight, February 2010. Deliveries, October 2011. With 7,630 kilometers range. Passenger version first flew March 2011. In service, June 2012. Seats up to 605. Range 14,430 kilometers. This passenger version is Boeing's largest and the world's longest jet. It's bigger and much more advanced. Compared to the 747-400, the 747-8 is 5.5 meters longer, 3.5 meters wider, taller, sleeker, while retaining the classic 747 body and swept wings. The new, thicker wings hold more fuel and feature-raked wingtips for improved aerodynamics. 747-8 uses GE Jenks, derived from 787 composite fan blades and case. High bypass, saves fuel, simplifies maintenance. Innovation boosts 747-8 MTOW to 442 tons, Boeing's heaviest. Cockpit refreshed too. It swapped 747-400 CRTs for LCDs, adding airport maps, NUFMAS, e-checklists, and vertical path display, boosting pilot awareness, safety, efficiency. The 747-8 reaches Mach 0.9, 1,130 kilometers per hour, flies at 13,137 meters, and ranges 9,000 plus miles. Longest route, Seoul-Atlanta, 7,152 miles, in 15 hours 40 minutes. Though only 155 Boeing 747-8s were made, 107 freighters, and 48 passenger jets. It still marks the end of aviation's golden era, January 31st, 2023. The last 747-8F was delivered to Atlas Air, ending the Sky Queen. Third, H-4 Hercules. Howard Hughes, modern Renaissance legend, among the richest, worth $1.5 billion at death, forever chasing dreams. In World War II, U.S. War Department eyed airlifting supplies to Britain, avoiding U-boats. Hughes and Henry Kaiser designed a huge plane to carry 2 M4 Sherman tanks, or 750 troops, which later became the Hughes H-4 Hercules. Aluminum shortages led Hughes to build Hercules in wood, hence Spruce Goose. H-4 Hercules, giant plane. This plane is 66 meters long, 97 meters wingspan, 24 meters high, cruises at 408 kilometers per hour. Stats made it history's biggest flying boat, widest span plane then. Record held until Rock's 2019 first flight. H-4 used a single hull, 8 radial engines, 1 fin, wingtip floats, cantilever wings, plywood, fabric controls, except flaperons. Inside, flight deck, huge cargo bay. The plane was completed 2 years post-war. costing the US $22 million and Hughes $18 million, $468 million today. He was called to testify before Congress, where Hughes firmly defended his honor against Senator Brewster's questions. On November 2, 1947, Hughes piloted the Hercules on its only test flight with 35 others to prove its abilities. Flew at 217 kilometers per hour, then ditched safely. The plane had no incidents, but after the war and strategy shift, it never flew again. Surprisingly, Hughes kept a secret team maintaining Hercules for 30 years, ready for emergencies. Today, this legendary plane is preserved. An icon? Second, Stratolaunch Rock. P-38 to F-82 proved twin fuselage entry. If two 747-400 fuselages join, could it still take off intact? Incredibly, the American company Scaled Composites built the giant aircraft Stratolaunch Rock, a true giant of the skies. The plane flew multiple missions and set a 117-meter wingspan record, beating a 380, 740, 78, and 225, and H-4. Daeping is an aerial mothership designed to launch rockets from high altitude, with its large midsection serving as the ideal platform. Named for the legendary Daeping, it uses 6 Pratt and Whitney PW4056 turbofans, 56,750 pounds thrust each, carrying 250 tons below. Later, it carried hypersonic craft to stratosphere testing. Rock is massive and high-tech, mostly carbon fiber composites, making it the largest composite aircraft built, though massive. Weight-saving materials make it lighter than an 225. To cut R&D and build faster, Rock borrowed 747-400 engines. Year, avionics. Cockpit. Initially funded by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, announced in 2011, Scaled Composites built it over years. Unveiled at Mojave 2017. First flew April 13, 2019. Alas, Paul Allen died October 2018, missing first flight. After first flight, Scaled Composites hit crisis. May 2019 halted operations, selling assets. Aircraft included. That October, Cerberus bought it. In December 2019, rebranded as Hypersonic Flight Test Platform. May 2024. Model 351 finished 16 test flights, giving data for future vehicles. First place in 225. Hard to believe, but the Antonov An-225 broke 240-plus records at 84 meters, long with an 88.4 meters wingspan. It's the largest and heaviest transport plane ever, and 225 began 1984. First flew December 1988. Svyatoshin, in February the following year. Gorbachev boarded the plane and assigned 2 An-124s to Antonov Design Bureau. This laid the foundation for Antonov Airlines Transport Aviation Division. Only one An-225 Maria was completed. The second stopped in 1993 after the Soviet collapse and funding shortages. In 1989, the An-225 carried 156.3 tons, breaking 110 records in under 4 hours. On May 13th, it launched from Baikonur, carrying 60-ton Buran orbiter, completing 13 tests. May 1990, first job hauled 110-ton T-800 Chelyabinsk, Yakutia. Post-USSR, Ukraine took in 225, with purpose gone and Buran cancelled. The plane was stored 1994 to 2000. Parts kept in 124s running. in 2000. The N-225 was overhauled and flew again in 2001. May 7th. First post-overhaul flight, Sept 11. Broke 124 speed, weight, altitude records on June 2004. Break 6 payload records, June 2010. Record airlift, 2 138-foot blades. That year it flew 120 artist Ukrainian exhibit to 10,000 meters. Guinness recorded. In 2016, he hauled 182-ton turbine Sao Paulo, Santiago. Sadly, on February 24, 2022, Russian troops attacked Hostomel near Kiev, and 225 in hangar there was destroyed. Lockheed CL-1201. Imagine a 340-meter, 6,000-ton nuclear plane flying 41 days, needing 182 lift jets. Airport-sized area, not sci-fi fortress. Just Lockheed's late 1960s real concept design, CL-1201, as jets matured. 747 ushered transcontinental air travel. Lockheed pushed tech limits, proposing bold CL-1201 concepts, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, with 2 key variants, CL-1200-111 attack carrier, CL-1200-113 logistics, support transport. The attack air carrier design is extremely bold. Each wing holds 11 fighter bombers, plus 2 more in internal hangars, for 24 fighters ready at all times. It can also carry 10 long-range missiles, even nuclear warheads. The airborne carrier will hover at 30,000 feet, 600 miles from the battle zone, providing ongoing air support. Logistics variant can carry 400 soldiers and 1,150 tons of supplies. Futuristic. CL-1201 had a mid-range airlift, modified 707S dock behind. Sealed tunnel moves troops, supplies in flight. MIT carries 150. 5 launch, 1,150 total. Still, lifting huge craft off is hard. It needs a 200-meter wide runway beyond airports. Lockheed proposed 54 747 turbojets for LSA. Attack carrier required 182 vertical lift engines once airborne. 4 rear engines push, each near 747 wide. CL-1201's defense is also a concern. Against SAMs and fighters, Lockheed proposed laser defense turrets. Still sci-fi today, its huge size makes it battlefield target undefendable. Finally shelved. Too idealistic, too costly, unready. That's all for today. Which of today's 11 biggest planes impressed you most overall? Comment below.